Okay, so here's something you don't see every day. A film that dives headfirst into the world of gay biker gangs, BDSM dynamics, and unconventional relationships, all wrapped up in a dramatic comedy. It's called Pillion, and it's one of the most daring films I've seen in a long time.
Oh, I've heard about this. It's based on Box Hill by Adam Mars Jones, right? That book was set in the pre-AIDS era, wasn't it? I've been curious about how they adapted it for the screen.
Exactly. Harry Melling directed it, and it's actually his first feature film. He really took a risk here because this isn't just a love story. It's a deep dive into a world most people probably know nothing about. It's bold, unapologetic, and surprisingly tender in places.
That already sounds fascinating. What's the setup? Who are the main characters we're following?
The story revolves around Colin, played by Harry Melling. You might know him from The Queen's Gambit or even as Dudley Dursley in the Harry Potter films. Here, he's this introverted, almost painfully naive parking officer who still lives with his parents in London. Colin's sweet, but he's also kind of lost. He hasn't really figured out who he is or what he wants, especially when it comes to his sexuality.
So, he's just sort of drifting through life when something, or someone, shakes things up?
Exactly. Enter Ray, played by Alexander Skarsgård. Ray is this rugged, enigmatic biker who's part of a gay motorcycle gang. Colin first sees him while performing in a pub with a little quartet. It's one of those moments where Colin's eyes just light up. You can tell he's instantly drawn to Ray, even though he can't imagine someone like Ray would ever notice him.
And does Ray notice him? Or is Colin just admiring from afar?
Oh, Ray notices him all right. After a brief conversation at the bar, Ray hands Colin a pickup note. It's so direct and unexpected. Fast forward to Christmas Day, and they meet up in a back alley. Ray is commanding, and Colin just follows. It's like Colin is stepping into an entirely new world, one he didn't even know existed.
That sounds intense. So, is this a one-time thing? Or does it develop into something more?
That's the fascinating part. Colin assumes it's just a one-time fling. But Ray has other plans. Over time, Colin becomes a part of Ray's life. He even moves in with him, though not in the way you'd expect. Colin sleeps on the rug at the foot of Ray's bed. He cooks for him, cleans for him, shops for him. It's this completely submissive arrangement, and Colin not only accepts it, but starts to thrive in it. He begins to discover things about himself, his desires, his boundaries, what he's willing to give.
That's such a unique dynamic. It doesn't sound like a traditional relationship at all. How does Ray treat Colin in all of this?
Ray's a bit of a mystery. He's poker-faced, disciplined, and a man of very few words. He doesn't give much of himself, not to Colin and not even to Colin's mom, who desperately wants to know more about him. But despite that, Colin falls for him deeply. The problem is, Ray isn't interested in love. He's interested in control, in maintaining this very specific dynamic.
That must be so hard for Colin. Does the film explore how he copes with that unrequited love?
Absolutely. The emotional toll on Colin is a big part of the story. But it's not all heartbreak. Through this unconventional relationship, Colin learns so much about himself. It's a journey of self-discovery as much as it is a story about their dynamic. He starts to understand his own desires and his own capacity to love, even if it's not returned in the way he hopes.
And what about Ray? Do we get any insight into why he is the way he is?
That's one of the most intriguing things about the film. Ray remains a closed book. You get glimpses of his world through his interactions with his biker gang and his dynamic with Colin. But he never really lets anyone in. It's frustrating, but it also makes him fascinating. You're constantly wondering what's going on beneath the surface.
It sounds like the film really leans into the complexity of these characters. What about the supporting cast? You mentioned Colin's parents earlier.
Oh, they're incredible. Douglas Hodge and Leslie Sharp play Colin's parents, Pete and Peggy. They're warm, loving, and so supportive. Peggy, in particular, is a standout. She's facing her own mortality. She's dying, but that doesn't stop her from speaking her mind. There's this one scene where she confronts Ray, and it's just so raw and powerful. It's one of the highlights of the film.
I love that they included that family dynamic. It adds so much depth to Colin's story. What about the biker gang? Are they just background characters, or do they play a significant role?
They're definitely more than just background. Lighton actually spent a weekend with members of the Gay Bikers Motorcycle Club while preparing for the film, and he ended up casting some of them. Their presence adds this layer of authenticity to the story. You get a sense of the camaraderie and the almost tribal bond they share. It's a world that feels very lived in and real.
That's such a cool detail. It sounds like Lighton really did his homework. Speaking of which, how does he handle the more explicit aspects of the story? I mean, it's rated R, so I'm guessing it doesn't hold back.
Not at all. The film is unapologetically explicit, both in terms of nudity and sexual content. But it never feels gratuitous. Lighton treats the subject matter with care and respect. It's honest and eye-opening, but it's also good-natured. It's not about shocking the audience. It's about being authentic to the story and the characters.
That's so important, especially with a topic that could easily be sensationalized. How would you describe the overall tone of the film? Is it more dramatic, or does the comedy balance it out?
It's a delicate balance of both. The dramatic elements are definitely at the forefront, especially when it comes to Colin's emotional journey. But there's also this underlying humor that keeps things from getting too heavy. It's subtle, but it's there and it works beautifully.
It sounds like a really unique film. How did you feel about the performances? Did the cast live up to the material?
Oh, absolutely. Harry Melling is phenomenal as Colin. He captures this wide-eyed innocence and eagerness to please that's so central to the character. And Alexander Skarsgård, what can I say? He's magnetic as Ray. He's tough, commanding, and completely captivating. The chemistry between the two of them is palpable.
What about the visuals? I imagine a film like this would have a very specific aesthetic.
Definitely. The cinematography is stunning. It's gritty and raw, but also incredibly intimate. You feel like you're right there with the characters, experiencing everything alongside them. It's immersive in the best way.
So, final thoughts? Would you recommend it?
Without a doubt. It's not going to be for everyone, especially given the explicit content. But if you're open to it, Pillion is a well-constructed, engaging film that explores a taboo subject with honesty and sensitivity. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
That's a strong recommendation. I think I'll have to check it out. It sounds like a film that stays with you long after the credits roll.
It really does. It's one of those films that makes you think, makes you feel, and maybe even makes you see the world a little differently. Definitely worth watching.
You've been listening to Movies First.
Available at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favourite podcast player. You can also stream on demand at Bytes.com.
This has been another quality podcast production from Bytes.com.